So, squeaky hinges are a lot more of a problem than you think about for people that want privacy, and that can include people with high anxiety or problems that they don't like being seen when going to the bathroom for a bunch of different reasons. Beyond that, it can be a huge issue for people with, how would I say it, people with noise sensitivity. It can wake up people at night. It can just be a distraction for people with distractibility issues. So how do we make a simple, less squeaky hinge? Well, I have a couple ideas from fancy to not so fancy. And this will also make it one more durable. One would be to coat this whole thing in a plastic that has a compliant mechanism. So compliant mechanisms are mechanisms that bend. They're compliant, they fold, but only in certain ways more easily. So you could have a simple thing that looks like plastic from here that has a little bump and goes here, and it flexes in the middle but not up and down. Plastics can be made so they can bend many, many times back and forth without making much noise at all. And in fact, you can make this plastic sound absorbing to dampen the sound of the rest of the hands. If you make the plastic really strong and well designed, you could also make this whole thing without the middle hinge. Now, you might not be able to make it that cheaply because you might need to support too much weight for the price for that to be an effective solution. But you could even make this middle hinge support some of the weight and make the middle hinge have less noise because it's less weight, so it's less rubbing with friction. But you could make this smaller, so it's also less rubbing and makes less noise. Or that it's a little more loose in the middle without giving some of the extra rigidity, so it's less noise. A variety of ways that you could make less noise that way. Now, another thing you could do is you could try to make this out of a self-lubricating material. There's many self-lubricating materials of various properties, and what all of them do is that they either do not stick very well to each other, and examples of that is Teflon, which uses fluorine, and fluorine can make stuff either super sticky or super unsticky because it's super reactive fluorine gas and a lot of fluorine compounds. But when they react, sometimes they react so strongly there's nothing left that closes off everything that makes it sticky. So it's not sticky anymore. It's like glue, kind of. When the glue is super sticky, it sticks to everything. But when it dries out, nothing sticks to it because it's solid. It's made a solid connection. Now, fluorine, the problem with fluorine is fluorine can make a lot of toxic compounds, and it's not the most environmentally friendly, even though with better production methods, it becomes more environmentally friendly as long as you can contain it within the plant. You still have recyclability issues, but we're getting better recycling stuff, so it's a little toxicity, but would you need a lot of it? There's also non-stick stuff like Teflon. Well, Teflon uses fluorine, but there's other non-stick sprays that we've developed, so you could use one of these non-stick things on everything to make the whole thing self-lubricating with plastics and stuff that do not bond very well to each other. An alternative to the more plastic route is self-lubricating metals. Now, self-lubricating metals exist in a very, very wide variety, and what they usually have is a lot of carbon, and this such as cast iron. Cast iron actually is one of self-lubricating. The high amount of carbon forms little tiny nanostructures and nanolittle wear and tears of little balls that act almost as rollers that help it roll smoothly on it, like nanoball rolls instead of just normally weighing down from friction. And it also smooths out. They also, how the wear and tear makes a more smooth surface. Now, a cast iron is a bit heavy, but it's not super heavy. But it's not the best at low friction, so low wear and tear. It's more for gears and stuff with a lot of wear and tear. So maybe you can make a cast iron version of like brass. It's like brass with a super high amount of carbon in it. Or you could figure out other things, like we have molybdenum disulfide, which is super good lubricating and solid. Maybe you can add that to metal or something. Now, beyond the self-lubricating stuff that I've been talking about, is all this stuff can help prevent corrosion, high carbon content can help prevent corrosion. Having more the fluorine compounds prevent corrosion. The plastic compounds certainly don't corrode as much as the metal. So all this could make the hinges last a lot longer in other ways. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year and 4,000 watch hours, which is really, really hard, but with your help, I think I can do it. Also, if any of these were future videos, suggestions, or comments, leave in the comment section below. Thank you very much again. Goodbye.